Welcome back. So in this video training, we will see like how we can use the key management service to encrypt and decrypt a file. This file will be located in our laptop and we will be using the key management service to encrypt and decrypt a plain text file. Okay, this is for a general purpose demo because I'm not going into much advanced, but just for your understanding how encryption and decryption works in AWS, let's do this demo. Okay, so first of all, we have to go inside key management service in AWS and we have to create a customer managed key. What is the difference between customer managed key and AWS managed keys? It's a different topic, but just for your understanding, customer managed keys are, as the name mentions, is actually governed by customers. For example, if we want to delete the key, or we can do much other things as compared to AWS managed keys. And AWS managed keys has its own service keys and for the services which we don't need to create. For example, if I want to use for S3, or let me show you here, for example, for SNS and other things, it's all already created for you. So let's go to customer managed key and let's create a new key for us. So this key I had created for some demo and this is already pending deletion. So let's create a key. I will go with, first of all, simple thing here, that is symmetric, that is single key for encryption and decryption. And let's do next. Put the name of the key. Let's put it as demo key 2. I will keep all the things as it is. And here I need to specify who will be the administrator for this key. So if I say Sid will be the administrator and Sid will have permissions to delete this key as well. Okay, next. And who will be using this key? I will say it will be Sid and let's say Faisal. And after that, what we can do is we can just create and go to the next step, right? It says you cannot change the key configuration after key is created. And here is the key policy. And you will see a very important point here from exam perspective. What are the permissions given to Sid? Here, this is Sid, user Sid. And here you can see like I have the delete permission as well, right? Okay. Then I have for Faisal, Faisal can do all these things on the KMS, but he cannot do delete, right? So these are the things. And we'll do finish. This key has been enabled. And the thing to note is the key ID which we'll be using. Now, let's come back to our laptop from where we are trying to encrypt the file. And we have already configured our access key. That is our access key ID and secret key IDs. If you are not aware how to configure that, please follow my previous video and it will be a like quick help for you. So the AWS keys are already configured here on my laptop and we can configure and check it like this. AWS, let's say I am list users, and you see like it's working for me and I can access the AWS console from my laptop, right? Now, I have a file here, which is a plain text file called myplaintext.txt. And let's see what is the content of this particular file. This is a plain text file. This is the content of this particular file, right? Okay, so let's do one thing now. We need to do encryption of this myplaintext file. So what will be the command for this one? The command will be like this, which I will also share in the video. This will be the command AWS, the service name, the encrypt, then the key ID, and the plain text file.db, right? So what we can do is, let's copy this first here, and let's go one by one here, right? So as we did for the previous command, we have to start with AWS, that is this command. Then we have to come to the service which we are invoking. We are using the key management service of AWS. So we'll do this KMS. Then we have to do the command called encrypt, which we can also get from the documentation on KMS through on AWS, and then the key ID. And how do we get the key ID? Let's go and see here. In this case, demo key 2, the key ID is this one, which is this one. So I'll copy this and I will put here the key ID. This key ID was for different key which I was creating for some other course, and here it is, right? So I'll paste it here. So I have the command now, AWS KMS encrypt -- key ID, the key ID which we have just created, and the file myplain.txt, right? Let's enter. And here you see that you have got the encrypted ciphertext blob, which is this one, right? And we have this particular thing created. Now this particular file is encrypted, right? And this particular file details, if the content of the file was, as we know, was this is the plain text file, right? Let's see, like, if we can actually decrypt this file and get back this particular plain text content. That is, this is a plain text file, right? Okay, so we have got the ciphertext blob. If I want to decrypt this particular blob, I can store this blob in a file also. That is my encrypted file of myplaintext.txt, right? So I can either copy or I can create a file. Let's actually copy this. I'll copy this, and the command which we have to use is this one, AWS KMS decrypt ciphertext blob. Let me copy until here first. And yeah, and then I need to copy this particular ciphertext blob, right? And here it goes. And I have copied this. Let's see whether anything else required in this particular file to see. And we should be okay with this. Okay, now let's enter. And you see, in this case, we are getting a plain text, but in the above case of encryption, we get a ciphertext, right? But this ciphertext is not equivalent to the content of my plain text file, right? And what is the content of my plain text file? This is a plain text file. This is the content I want back. So why we are not getting this particular thing is because this particular plain text output is base 64 encoded. So this is a very important topic from exam perspective also. So please take note. And what we can do is we can copy this and we can go or use a tool called base64decode.org, right? We can copy and paste it here and we can decode it here. This is a plain text file. So this is where we got back the things, right? Like we got it in the plain text again from our encrypted base 64 coding. Just to check, it is ending with pbgu equal to, let's see, it's pbgu equal to, right? And when we decode, it will come as this is a plain text file. So I hope this is a value add session for you. And if you want to like go more in depth, please comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks again, everyone. See you soon.